Good evening, families. This is Mr. Park, principal of Pendleton Elementary School. I want to welcome you to our in-person learning virtual parent information meeting, where our focus will always be on our health and safety of our students. If you have any questions from this presentation, please post them in the comment section of the Parent Square post, and we will respond to them as quickly as possible. As we prepare to bring our students back for in-person learning, we want to share with you some of the preparations that we have been making as a district and as a school to make sure that we keep all of our students as well as our staff safe during this transition time. So we want to partner with you. Your feedback and your input is very important so that we make this transition to in-person learning a smooth and easy transition, while at the same time keeping everyone's health and safety as the #1 priority. Once we are able to bring students back for in-person learning, we do ask that parents, you conduct a home health screening before sending your child to school. So every morning, please look for symptoms such as a fever, a cough, difficulty breathing, or a loss of taste and smell. If you notice that your child has any of these flu-like or COVID-19 symptoms, please keep them at home and call the school office and let us know that your child will be absent. We will also have our health office services available. We have personal protection equipment, such as paper masks, face shields, and hand sanitizer in each room. We will also have 2 separate rooms. One is a well room, which we will provide our typical first aid. And we will also have a separate room, which is something new, which will be used for students who display temperatures over 100.4 degrees or other COVID-19 related symptoms. And so these will be 2 separate rooms. They will be frequently cleaned, disinfected, and sanitized. And they will be staffed with our health clerk as well as our school secretary and a district nurse whenever available. And so we will ask those students that have a temperature over 100.4 degrees or other COVID-19 symptoms to stay in the sick room, and we will be calling parents and asking you to come pick them up from our school. All right, some of the ABCs of school arrival, some more information to share with you. What school arrival is going to look like once students come back for in-person learning. We do ask once again that you take your child's temperature at home. Make sure they are feeling well before you send them to school, okay? Once again, if any type of fever or flu-like or COVID-19 symptoms, please keep them at home and make sure to call the school office. If your child will be riding a bus to school, we ask that you stay with them at the bus stop until they get on the bus. And every student getting on the bus will need to wear a face covering. Bringing hand sanitizer to school is optional, but like we mentioned before, we will have it available in every single classroom. And at any time, if you have any questions or concerns, please always call the school office and we can assist you over the phone. All right, before entering campus and the classroom, we will be sending out an arrival schedule. We'll have multiple gates, multiple entrances and exits for our students so that not every student is coming through the same gate. And at every gate, we will have a temperature check. So our staff will be checking the temperature of all of our students before they enter the school. Once we finalize that schedule based on the responses of parents, of when or if your child will be coming back or not. We'll share those schedules with you. But we do want to remind you that our school will still continue to be a closed campus, and we ask that parents not come onto campus. If you have a need to visit the office, we ask that you make an appointment, just to minimize the number of people on campus. And at any point, if a student does have a fever, we will not allow them into the class. We will keep them in the sick room, and we will notify parents to come pick them up. Our classrooms will be rearranged to make it as safe as possible for our students and our staff. Our teachers will have a clear screen that separates them from the students. All of our teachers will be wearing face coverings. We ask that the students wear face coverings as well. Students will be in assigned seats, and they'll have their own supplies. They will not be sharing supplies in the classroom. And as I mentioned before, every classroom is equipped with hand sanitizer. And we will keep students in stable cohorts. This is optional, but students are allowed to bring hand sanitizers, gloves, water bottles, face coverings, but we ask that they do not share with anybody. And if any of this personal protection equipment is forgotten, we can provide them to the student when they get to school. As far as dismissal is concerned, we are asking that students wash their hands or use hand sanitizer before leaving the classroom, and they will be leaving through multiple exits, once again to minimize too many students in one area. If you are here at the end of the school day, parents, if you come to school to pick up your child, we ask that you also wear some type of face covering while you wait for your child outside, and always practice social distancing procedures, please. As far as student meals, we will continue to provide free prepackaged lunch and breakfast for all students. Those will be the grab-and-go lunch bags, and we will give them to the students on their way out of school so that they can take them home and eat them at home. Now, as far as next steps for you parents, we are asking that you carefully consider all your options and that you make a decision whether you want your child to stay in distance learning or you want them to come back to school for in-person learning. The decision is completely up to you, and so we ask that you consider all this information and you make the best decision for you and your child. We will be asking for a commitment from you once you make a decision, and we ask that you keep that commitment until the end of the school year. We will be sending these commitment forms out to you starting October 7th on Parent Square. So it's very important that you respond to us and let us know what your decision is. If we do not get a response from you, then your child will be automatically placed into distance learning. So very important, parents, once you get that form, please submit them and let us know what your decision is. And we will continue to do our best to minimize disruptions to our students, but depending on the selection you make, there is a possibility that they may have a different teacher. Okay, it really depends on the number of parents and families that select distance learning and in-person learning, but there is a possibility that your child may or may not have the same teacher. We'll do our best to keep them with their current teacher, but please understand that some changes will be necessary. We have some tentative dates as to when in-person learning will begin. Please keep in mind this all depends on state and county guidelines. As you know, the health climate is constantly changing. So as long as it is safe to do so, our plans are to open school for in-person learning on the week of October 19th for our preschool and special ed preschool students. For our TK through grade 5 special ed students, it'll be the week of October 26th. And then for the general ed students, the rest of the students, the plan is to start on the week of November 9th. As we finalize the dates, as well as schedules and what the cohorts and the classes will look like as far as teachers and assignments. Once all of that is finalized, we will notify you as soon as possible. I understand you may still have many questions. Please feel free to post them on the comments section of the Parent Square post that this message has been sent out through. And we will do our very best to respond as soon as possible. Thank you again, parents, for joining this presentation. If you have any questions, please post them. You can also call the school, and we'll do our best to answer them. Thank you again, parents, and have a great evening.